All right, listen up, you marks, because I want to tell you something. What? Yeah. What? Yeah. Let me talk to you. A lot of people, meaning wrestling fans, hardcore, brutal death matches wrestling fans, don't understand professional wrestling. And over here at Between Society, I'm gonna set you straight. You see, you've been operating on a half brain probably since birth. Well, what does that mean? That means your left side brain never turned on. That means you only operate on the right side. Now, you could go to a Wikipedia and look at the brain and understand that your left side brain is where the logic's at. So you have no logic. The right side of the brain is where your emotions, and you're full of emotions. Professional wrestling promoters as Vince McMahon and Tony Khan play with that emotion. They are the puppet masters and you're the puppets. They pull the strings, they control your emotions, and your output reveals that. You are on social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, and you're crying. You're crying about them not pushing your favorite wrestler. You say things like this over 100 times. You say, if Vince McMahon or Tony Khan don't make my wrestler a winner or a champion, then I'm never ever watching it again. I'm gonna watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. Forget WWE and AEW. Those guys don't know how to wrestle. Well, let me ask you, do you know what a hammerlock is? Do you know how to get to a hammerlock? Do you know what a wrist lock is? Not a wristwatch, a wrist lock. You know, there's one thing I can respect from other fans of other sports, that they know the moves. They can identify the moves. A basketball player knows what a pass is. They know what a dribble is. They know what a free throw is. And I go on what they know. Wrestling fans will say something like this. He needs to learn how to wrestle. I shoot back and I ask a question. Well, what's a wrist lock? And once you got a wrist lock, where can you go from a wrist lock? They probably have no idea what they're talking about. Because, like I said, the left side of the brain shut down a long time ago. They're filled with emotions. That's why they love the music. They love the pyro. And if their favorite says something great, then they're like, oh, he said something great. Meanwhile, corporations are like, what is that? No, we're not putting our products on him. That dude's not going to make us any money, please. Now, on a serious note, how am I going to set your mark straight? Is that I am going to take you down to a social media path. I want at least you have a chance to examine and get an idea on why certain wrestlers may be pushed over others. So from here, a Top Guys Pro Wrestling page, let's go to the menu, go to About, and you can see over at Top Guys, there are social media platforms. I'm more on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on a side note, I'm over at Rumble and Parlor. You mean you're on right-wing media sites? Yeah, and I'm sure the major companies are doing the same thing because they're trying to get an overall audience, not just certain types. Because if you do that, your entertainment company will die. You just basically shot yourself in the head by dividing your audience based upon politics and sociology. Who cares about what the wrestlers or wrestling promotions has on their views? They're all about wanting to make money. That's right. Ha ha. Now, we are going to go towards Twitter. Okay. You can see over here, a top guys is over at Twitter. And to go down the social media path, I'm going to go to following. And yes, you're going to see that I follow a lot of professional wrestlers. Duh, I'm a pro wrestling website. Come on. And so what we're going to look at is we're going to kind of examine their followers. So that way you can kind of get an idea, okay, this is why this wrestler is being pushed over the other. Now, let's see if I got someone from AEW. Let's pick on them. Because I know how you crazy you marks get when I talk negatively about AEW. Let's see. Darn, I don't think I follow many AEW people. I mean, I've tried to. Okay, perfect. Boom. Sarah, formerly known as Paige. She is filled with joy, and she has 2.7 million followers. That might be the most followers that an AEW wrestler has, and I'm including the men. 2.7 million. Now, you could opinion on how she gets those, whatever, but the bottom line, she's got 2.7 million, and that's pretty good. And she wrote rent-free in Nick Beer's head. That's pretty good, not bad. Okay. Now, let's go Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, probably one of, not the most famous WWE to AEW. He was the first AEW World Champion, and he's not from Long Island. He's from Winnipeg, you idiot. Chris Jericho has 3.6 million followers. Okay, 3.6 and 2.7 million followers. Now, let's kind of scroll down a little bit and see if I have someone that's kind of like on the lower end. Let's see. Anybody that's kind of like... Okay, perfect. Let's look at Don Hewson, AEW guy. He has 192.7K followers. Not bad. Now, let's look at All Elite Wrestling itself. Let's see how much promoters they have. They have 901.9K followers. Basically, they have all their viewers following AEW. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. I kind of wonder to know how many followers does Rick Boogs have over on YouTube. Rick Boogs, a.k.a. Eric Bugenhagen. All right, I'm going to go over on YouTube quickly. Okay, let's go subscriptions. Okay, so here's another way to get an idea of how well wrestling is doing. If you kind of look at over on their subscriptions, let's kind of change things up a little bit. Let's go over towards subscriptions. And I'm kind of running down time a little bit. I'm going to continue with this with a part 2. Okay, so I'm on all channels. Okay, let's see. All Elite Wrestling. Let's see how many subscribers they have. Where is it? Okay, I want to view channel. 3.5, that's not bad. 3.5, that's not bad. And no, I'm not going to compare them to WWE because it'll be just sad for AEW and they'll come with all excuses. Okay, being the Elite, that is Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Basically, kind of the guys that are the founders of AEW along with Cody Rhodes. They have 502K subscribers. Sorry. 502K subscribers. That's like maybe what? Half of AEW's viewership right there. All right, let's see. I want to see what Eric Bugenhagen. I want to compare. I don't think he's going to have nearly as much as they do, but who knows? I haven't checked it in a while. All right, he has about 305K. He's about 200,000 less, which is not that bad at all. Not bad at all. 305K. Now, what you can see is when you're going on channels, subscription channels, you can kind of see how many subscribers there are, and it kind of gives you an idea on how overall that wrestler or that company is getting. And these things do matter. You have to understand that these are the things that corporations, other professional wrestling companies look at to determine whether or not they want to pursue this individual. Now, let's check out Logan Paul's. I mean, if you don't get why Logan Paul is signed to WWE, I don't know what to say, y'all. Logan Paul, View Channel, 23.6 million subscribers. One of the biggest YouTubers of all time. And he's crossing over to boxing, MMA, UFC, and he's doing WWE. I mean, this guy is balling at a high level, and that's why WWE signs him. And he's a pretty good wrestler. I'd say that this dude's better than Kenny Omega. Oh no, he said that. He said Logan Paul's better than Kenny Omega. Oh, what am I going to do? All right, we'll continue on with this episode of Wrestling Between Society on wrestlers and social media to see why they are so over and why one is over the other on the next segment of Between Wrestling Society.
Listen to me, Dad. We gotta cooperate. We have no choice. We're almost broke.
Oh, that's great. I can taste the bubbles.
Over at A Top Guys Professional Wrestling. I'm over at WordPress.com, atopguys.wordpress.com. Facebook, it is A Top Guys Professional Wrestling page. Twitter is at A Top Guys, and I do have a YouTube channel over at A Top Guys. And over at Rumble, I'm over at A Top Guys. And Wrestling Between Society is over at Spotify.